Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have the Deadpool and Bob 2-pack. This is a 2-pack I've been really excited for ever since it was announced. I've been needing a Deadpool in my collection for the longest time, and finally I get my hands on it. The last Deadpool I think that got released was... it's either Pirate Deadpool or one of the MCU Deadpools, and I have Pirate Deadpool. I just needed like a regular old Deadpool. And stupidly, I actually had a chance at getting the MCU Deadpool a couple times. Back when I first started collecting that whole wave, the Fox, X-Men, Marvel Legends were they were on the process of phasing out of stores. And I had an opportunity to pick up a couple of those figures. Unfortunately, I passed on it because I'm an idiot. But I found the Cable. I found Deadpool, the version of Deadpool that's kind of more muted in his color scheme. It's a little bit more of a dark red wine than your typical Deadpool red. I saw Wolverine, I saw Domino, all of those. I actually found them on sale for I want to say like 18 bucks, and stupidly I passed on it because like I said, I was new into my collecting. I wasn't quite into Marvel Legends at the time. I was still mostly a wrestling collector, so I just didn't get them. And then ever since I got into the more Marvel Legends side of my habit, I've been needing a Deadpool, and there just hasn't been one until we got this 2-pack announced. Fortunately, this is a 2-pack where both characters are characters I want. I mentioned recently on another YouTuber's channel, just in the comments, not like a active part of his channel, where I said it's kind of a shame recently we've been getting all these amazing figures, but they're kind of hidden in these 2-packs where you have to buy 2 figures and one you don't really want. Like, for instance, the Destroyer who just came out. A great figure, but he comes with a substandard Thor, a Thor that has been released a couple of times, and if you already have that Thor, like I have the Anniversary Thor, and I also have Ragnarok, I already have 2 versions of that Thor. I did not need a third, but if I want a Destroyer, I had to pay this premium for this 2-pack and get a figure I didn't really want. Same with like the Hulk that came with the Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is a cool figure, but if I just wanted that Hulk, I had to pay a little bit extra to get him and buy a 2-pack. Whereas this 2-pack, it's both figures I actually do want. I do want that Hydra Bob, and I really wanted that Deadpool. So this is actually one of the few times where it's a win-win, and it's a little bit more understandable. So that is enough preamble. We can go ahead and jump into the actual box itself. Starting with the front of the box, you have this nice artwork here that's kind of reminiscent of a Deadpool comic cover, looking fairly cool. You have Deadpool here, Bob here. Kind of shows you what you might get, some accessories there, a little bit of what you could see in the box. On the side of the box, you have Deadpool right here in his little lineup, police lineup right there. The tape is kind of making it harder to see. On the back of the box, you have Deadpool and Hydra Bob and all the goodies they come with, all the accessories and bits and bobs and fun things for you to have your figure play with. On this side, you have Hydra Bob and his lineup, and now we're back to the front of the box, so we can go ahead and transition to the figures. And this is pretty much all you get. You get a ton of stuff for this 2-pack. Surprisingly, you actually get a lot of accessories. Even though it's a 2-pack, you still get stuff with it, so that's pretty cool. That's something that's something that's kind of hard to get with your 2-packs. If a figure you want is unfortunately locked behind a 2-pack, usually you're not going to get anything to go with them because, well, you have the honor of having 2 figures, so why would you get more with your package? You don't need accessories to go with your figures. That's kind of the mentality they've had with these 2-packs, but that's not the case here. First off, we got this nice red lightsaber right here. Not a lightsaber officially, but like almost like a little toy. I assume this is actually a toy because it looks so toy-like. I don't think this is actually a real sword. I assume Deadpool just went to like a Target and found a cool laser sword and just bought it for the gimmick. You also have one in blue, same thing but in blue. That's what I think. I don't know. They might actually be a little bit more substantial than that. You have this nice pink bazooka. This is giving me major Fortnite vibes. I feel like this has been reused from that toy line, despite the fact that that toy line actually doesn't exist anymore. But it is a nice little bazooka right here. Nice color, nice vibrant pink. A little bit of a warpage right here. The fist does come off, so I assume you could apply like a blast effect right there if you wanted to, or if you have Iron Man, I assume you'd have one of those blasting things. You could have that. The new Iron Man that just came out, the Mark 1, has the smoke effect. That could work too. That would look fairly decent for that bazooka. You have this Hydra briefcase right here that can open up and reveal some goodies inside. Nothing you can actually take out of the package, but you know, looking pretty cool. You have a banana, set of keys, something right there, and something right there. Nothing that I recognize. Oh, it says Bob. Oh, that's a thermos, and it says Bob. That's cool. Nice little toy right there. The coolest things in the entire package, two of them Deadpool himself is holding. Let's actually talk about these guns real quick. You have two guns right here. Both are identical. One goes on one hand and the other goes on the other hand. Unfortunately, no holster for these guns, just free balling the guns. But you have cool little nunchucks in the nice orange, a nice dragon head at the top, looking cool there. You have this one that's kind of like swinging. This one that's a little bit more, I guess maybe you flung it out and now it's straightened out, or it's dangling down, or whatever you want to call it. It's doing that. Remember, orange right there. You have this bow staff with the purple. Yes, you have this purple bow staff with the purple on the ends. Remember, keep that in mind. You have two of these beautiful looking size. I believe these are probably reused from a Electra or maybe a Daredevil. I can't get my hands on this one, but you have two in the red, of course. Again, keep that in mind. And then on Deadpool himself, if I can pull him off without him falling over. Please don't fall. He's gonna fall. I know it. Yeah. You have two of these swords in the blue. Now, I bring up the colors because if you look at them, move these hands out of the way. If you look at the weapons, you have blue swords, orange nunchucks, red size, and one purple bow staff. Does that remind you of anybody? Maybe the Ninja Turtles? Donnie, Raph, Mikey, Leo? I think that's amazing. I don't know why. It's a cool little Easter egg. It's got me super amused ever since I opened this package. It's something that's made me smile. Just that little detail there I find super enjoyable, I guess. I love it. I can't explain why, I just do. Nice to have that there. Along with the weapons, we have hand accessories, a little bit more for Deadpool than we do for Bob. Starting with this head sculpt here, this nice mask pulled above his nose version of Deadpool, so you can see his gnarly scars, his gross face, the nice divots and dents and dings and all the grossness of Deadpool's face. It looks pretty gnarly, but I do like this head sculpt because it's a little bit more expressive. The one on the actual figure is a little bit more stoic, unfortunately. I also forgot to mention Hydra Bob's machine guns that I have over here. So on Hydra Bob, you have two trigger fingers right there. And then you also have his fist hands, one for each hand. They both look fairly standard, but fairly decent. And then holding the guns in those hands were these guns. You have this one with the black detail, and then this one that's just green. Again, I'm getting a very, well, the Fortnite line is canceled, so what do we do with all the molds? Let's just reuse them in this Deadpool 2-pack and get them, get some money out of them, I suppose. So with Deadpool, you have a couple goofy hands and then a couple useful hands. You have this nice pointing finger hand right there. I believe you have two of those, or maybe just one. You do have two. You have this one with the thumb up. You have this trigger finger hand right here. Yeah, you have a trigger finger for this hand. You have one for both hands, so you can hold both guns if you wanted to. You have this thumbs up here with the thumb, or without the finger pointing, so this is just the thumbs up. You have the peace sign right here for him to do a nice girly pose. You have two fists on both hands, of course, right here, looking fine. And then you have nice sword holding hands on the actual figure, so he can hold his swords and do Deadpool stuff with swords. So I guess we'll start with the more boring figure, just because, why not get the boring one out of the way first. Let's make sure he can be seen once we have him standing. There we go, perfect. So we have Hydra Bob here looking fairly decent, fairly cool. They have two different bodies of articulation, which I thought was interesting. So you have this nice green mask with the yellow eyes, nice grin on his face, nice smile. Decent paintwork on him, I think, all the way down. You have this nice strap going over his chest, Hydra right there on his chest, of course. All the pouches, because these are characters made by Rob Liefeld, who is obsessed with pouches, so you have pouches all around, everywhere you can have a pouch. Basic green going all the way down with yellow gloves and boots, looking fairly boring, but, you know, pretty cool. If you wanted to, I assume you could take out Deadpool's sword case carrying thing and put it on Bob. Actually, no, because that's not how this works, so never mind. Yeah, those are two different rigs. This is for something else. I don't know what you could put in there. I forget the figure that had this body type that necessitated that hole down there. Sorry, I am sick today, so it's hard to speak. So on this body, of course, you have, let's see, you have this regular old disc-based head sculpt that can go up all the way like there, down all the way down there. Of course, that is fairly deep, but then you have this nasty-looking disc that some people get annoyed with. I don't mind it. I think it looks fine, but, you know, it is a trade-off for this articulation, I think. It does wiggle side to side, rotates all the way around because it is still on a ball, of course. Arms come up about to right there, rotates all the way around, swivel at the bicep, of course. It is also on a butterfly joint, so looking at it from this angle, it can go back all the way there, forward just a little bit, not too much. Double jointed pinless elbows can come up to about right there. Wrist can go, well, this one can go down, this one can go up, rotates all the way around. This fist, of course, goes in and out, if you can kind of see. There we go, focus. The ab crunch is on the older style of ab crunch, which I don't mind, obviously. It can go back to about right there, forward to about right there. Fairly decent, I think. That's fine, that's acceptable. If you add the legs into it, that's a pretty decent crunch, I'd say. Of course, that means the legs can come up to about right there. Do the splits, of course. Pretty decent set of splits. Rotates at the waist, but the belt will kind of hinder you a little bit if you don't want to deal with that, but it does kind of get in the way. Just a little bit, not too much. Swivel at the thigh, rotates all the way around. Double jointed pinless knees. Goes up to about right there, fairly decent. Swivel at the boot, rotates all the way around. Ankle goes up, ankle goes down. Come on. And that is Hydra Bob. So now we can move on to Deadpool. Deadpool is a little bit different. I'm going to take off this katana sword holder, just because it will end up getting in the way. It is nice that it is removable, though, so I appreciate that detail. Unfortunately, I think it's a little too thick right there. I don't think it needs to be as thick as it is, and it just kind of makes it look a little bit too awkward on Deadpool once it's on there. But you can remove it if you don't like it, like me. I don't like it, so I removed it. There we go. Get him nice and posed. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, now Deadpool is looking pretty good. You have the nice red all the way down, the nice black accent pieces all across the suit. You have the Deadpool belt with the pouches, like I mentioned before. You have pouches all over the figure because this is a Rob Liefeld character. You have these wrist gauntlets that do move. These are like stuck on the character. If you pull off the wrist, watch out because these will come with it if you are not careful. Same with this head. If you take the head off, this collar here will come off with it. Unfortunately, it's a little bit annoying, but it's also, I appreciate the detail. Same with this wrist, or not wrist, ankle guard down here, ankle gauntlet, whatever these are called. It's all the way down here, looking good. Beyond the look of the character, you have the head that can go back just a little bit, not too much. It does have a notch cut out at the very back, if you can kind of see that. But it doesn't give you much. I think this neck thing right here kind of gets in the way of him going back further. Not perfect, but you know, it's whatever. It does make the character look a little bit more uniform, a little bit less like a figure when you have details like that, but obviously, I don't really care. I don't mind it. I don't mind the fact that my toy looks like a toy, you know what I mean? So, whichever you prefer, I guess, pick your poison, right? So it swivels side to side just a little bit, not too much. It has a kind of a small and thick neck, so it is kind of hard to move the head around. It rotates all the way around. Arms come up to about right there, a little bit more than Bob, I'd say. Rotates all the way around. Same thing as Bob. Butterfly joints can come back to about right there. Forward to about right there. Double jointed pinless elbows can come up to about right there. That's pretty decent. Wrist goes down and up. Rotates all the way around. Alternative hands will go in alternative directions, but you kind of get the idea there. This is on, I believe, we can call it the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body. I don't know if it has a term that is used across the toy world, but this is the Renew Your Vows Spider-Man body. So you have this nice diaphragm cut up here, which will let you go like that, side to side, back and forth. And then you also have the cut down here, so you have extra deep articulation. I do appreciate that. Looking pretty good. If you add the legs into it, he can go very deep. Honestly, I think it's comparable to Bob, so I don't know. You do get the side to side articulation, but I don't know if it adds that much more articulation. But I do really appreciate this side to side articulation. I think it looks absolutely wonderful. That does mean he will spin. No, he won't. He won't spin on that because there's no cut there. There's only a cut for the stomach to bend, but no cut for it to twist. The legs will come up to about right there, fairly high. They will do the splits about to right there, fairly decent. Swivel at the thigh. Let's do this one because this one has the pouch on it. Rotates all the way around. Double jointed pinless knees. Goes up to about right there. Not as deep as Bob's, but you know, pretty fine, I'd say. Rotation at the calf will go all the way around. Ankles go down, ankles go up. Toe hinge like so, and I believe that is everything. That is everything with this Deadpool and Hydra Bob. Looking pretty cool. I am actually a big fan of this figure. I think he's the bee's knees, you know. I think he's absolutely wonderful. Looking pretty cool, looking pretty spectacular for me. I love Deadpool. He's one of my favorite comic book characters. He was one of the first characters I read in comics. Obviously, I have fallen off of comics a little bit, so I don't know all the happenings that are happening with Deadpool. I know I tried to look up what he's doing right now. He's like a King Deadpool something. I don't know. I tried to Google what he's doing currently. I tried to Marvel Unlimited what he's doing currently, and it's kind of confusing what he's doing. He's like a monster hunter. He's like I don't know. He's like doing some weird stuff, but it's fun. I think the comics have been decent. Obviously, I haven't read a ton of them lately, but from what I have read, he's doing some cool stuff. So I haven't seen Hydra Bob. I actually have never read a comic with Hydra Bob, ironically enough, but it's still pretty cool to have him in figure form. Hopefully, in Deadpool 3, we might see him show up. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait for that movie to come out fairly soon. Now that the writer's strike is over, the actor's strike is still going on, but I assume that'll wrap up relatively soon. Now that the writer's strike is over, I assume things will start to move. Things will start to progress for the actors as well. But yeah, this is a super exciting figure. I'm super happy to have it in my collection. Like I said, the only other Deadpool I have is Pirate Deadpool, which is a cool figure. It's just, it's Pirate Deadpool. I need regular Deadpool. I would also like to have Lady Deadpool, and I guess you don't really need the zombie Deadpool. You could just say, this is zombie Deadpool, and there you go. Oh, and you can kind of see what I mean by him being a little bit more stoic. This one has a little bit more of an expression in his eyes specifically, because that's really how he expresses himself, is in his eyes. So this guy looks a little bit more serious, and this guy looks obviously a little bit more cheerful and happy. But they are two wonderful looking figures. And then, obviously, because Deadpool 3 is coming out relatively soon, and it is under the Disney umbrella, we're probably going to get a lot of really cool figures coming really soon. A lot of MCU Deadpool and Wolverine figures in that cool looking Wolverine costume. Things are going to get so fun once the strikes get wrapped up and they start paying people what they are owed, and life can be fun again. The first episode of Loki just came out, and oh my god, it's so good, but it's so hard to get excited. But like, seeing Marvel really something that's very, very good is like, it's exciting, because while it doesn't necessarily mean they are on track to being great again, it's a sign of hope. It's something to really just go like, okay, fingers crossed, can they keep up the momentum? So I'm pretty excited for the future. Let me know what you guys think of this figure down in the comments below. Let me know what you think of Marvel in general, the Deadpool movie, the Loki series, just whatever you can think of. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Just engage with the video, essentially. That's that's the real point here. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, all the things YouTubers ask you to do. Just do it for me as well, and I will be back with another video, hopefully a little bit more healthy and not as sick sounding, able to actually say a sentence without having to catch my breath, and hopefully very, very soon. Bye.